Hello, Avi. Welcome to the Go Green interview series.
Hi, Suri. So let me just introduce myself. So I'm Avi in 11th grade, so I'm a junior this year. I'm the project manager for the Teen Engineers for a Sustainable World Club. And a fun fact about me is I started a collateralized asset management company when I was in 8th grade.
Cool. What made you join the TESW club?
So I've been trying to join a lot of different engineering clubs and things like that, and not a lot of the teachers like it because with like robotics and things like that, teachers want you to follow a set guideline, and you don't. There's no real way to innovate or, I guess, change the world. But at this club, there's a lot of encouragement when it comes to things like innovations and things like that that'll actually make an impact and change the world for the better, which is what I was trying to do.
Nice. And what remarks do you have about the way the state of our environment is progressing? And also, how do you see the state of the future?
I don't think it's going so well so far. We have enough oil reserves just in general, like countries in general have enough oil reserves to destroy the limit where it's like 2 degrees right now. Scientists have uh, decided that that's like the theoretical limit that we can global warm without very massive consequences. But we can go 5 times over that limit with just our current oil reserves, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down that much because the price of oil actually went negative recently. So people were still pumping out oil even though they were losing money. So I feel like we need a really big shift, and that definitely starts with, I guess, the younger generation, because right now we'd have to be the ones who innovate so we can change the world tomorrow.
It's very interesting. How do you think we should create a more sustainable and slash or eco-friendly world?
I think we should change the traditional model of how a company works. And I'm coming at this from a different, I guess, more finance-oriented perspective, because I do a lot of stuff like that with business. But just in general, right now, a company's sole goal is profit or maximizing shareholder wealth. But what that doesn't take into account is environmental wealth, social wealth, or just in general, the health of like all the ecosystems and everything that matters for, I guess, the future generations and things like that. So I feel like we need to change just in general how corporate responsibility works and how people evaluate companies like that. And we also need to stop supporting companies that won't do something similar. I guess some things that I've done to try and push that forward are there's something called an ESG score, which is an environmental social governance score for companies. It's usually used for investors to gauge how good the company is sustainability wise. And I noticed that that it doesn't really do anything. It's not standardized. Any company can just kind of change their name and then their score goes up and they get a lot more money while still being invested in fossil fuels. So I've been working on a system on a standardized model that will take into account the things that actually matter, and so that investors can actually trust it, because there's again still a little distrust about it right now.
That is absolutely very interesting, Avi. And do you have any other tips on how others can be more green?
Yeah, I feel like the small things are what really matters. What I see a lot of the time is that everyone sees, oh, we're like in the news or wherever, that we're screwed. Like there's nothing we can do, and it's so big that like, what can I do? I might as well just not. It's like a waste. But I feel like what we really need to stress is just the little things. Recycling. Just like the day-to-day things. Turning off the lights when you're not using them. Trying to save water. There's different ways of reusing water and trying to change our power grids and things like that. But just very small little things people can change in their daily lives. And I feel like eventually, if enough people start doing it, it will make an impact. And although what most people see is this giant problem and their little contribution not really doing anything, if they all do that, then it'll eventually add up to a pretty big impact.
Interesting. Yeah. Thank you so much, Javi. So that is it. So yeah, thank you so much for letting me interview you for this Go Green series, and you are the first one I'm interviewing for this series. So great job. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.